book that started it all. This is the one, Subway Art, Martha Cooper, Henry Chalfont. This is a legendary book. If you don't have a copy, immediately go out and get one right now. If you're a graph head, you've got to own this book. You've got to, I'm afraid. It's law. It's the unwritten law of graffiti. You've got to own this book. If we just have a look at the cover for a second here, I'm not going to go through everything, but you've got to look at the, I mean, you know, you've got Scheme here. You've got DJ K-Slay. You've got Crash. You got, who's that, Peanut? You've got Poem here, Started Flashbacks magazine, Dr. Revolt. You've got some serious heavyweight people, and they're all in this book. And these guys, not all of them were first wave. Some of them were sort of what I guess what we call second wave, third gen, whatever you like. But they all took it further. They all took it on. So let's have a look. I mean, this, you know, famous Merry Christmas train there. The famous, I mean, I'm going to say the famous in front of everything, because they're all famous, these pieces, pretty much, and they're all made famous by this book mostly. So maybe I won't say the famous in front of everything, because it's fairly redundant. But yeah, the Andy Warhol train there, the cannibal soup, iconic image of Dondi straddling these two trains. Don't know what yard that is. If somebody can tell me in the comments, I would be much obliged, because I'm not an expert on New York graffiti. I just know bits about it, that's all, from over the years. Look at this. Ooh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Is this some, now I don't really know, obviously I've I worked in New York for a while, but I worked in Manhattan and Brooklyn. Is this from, am I looking at Manhattan from Queens or from Brooklyn? Again, somebody tell us in the comments, would you? Lovely. Look at that. Came one. Free for eternity. Oh, what an age to be a graffiti writer. That's not my dedication there, because I had to pick this up a second hand. I had to sell my first one, guttingly. Back in the days when I was super poor, I had to sell it along with a load of them. Oh, must have broke my heart. Blade, of course, it will always be the Train King. That's from 1980. He'll always been the Train King, because he managed to do, I think he's the only guy to ever pull off a whole train. Is that right? Fill me in if that's wrong. Mitch, Rasta, I think Rasta was he CIA? This guy definitely was. Duro. Bust, that's Dondi. Eric. I mean, look at these. Top to bottom whole class. Ledge. Big Midge. This is Bronx, I think. In fact, that might be Whitlock Avenue. No, that's not Whitlock Avenue. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Those of you who know, fill me in. Tacky 183, of course, who he was the first, he wasn't the first writer, but he was the first one to really become massive in Manhattan. Spin. Big names. Oh yeah, Barbara and Eva 62. Peanut. King 2, 76, that one. Blade in 75. Look at the style already. So funky. Smiley. Yeah, I remember this piece. See, by 1980, that was like old style, but that was a bit of a throwback by then. Damn, that's 42 years ago. Whew. Ebony Dukes. Fuzz 1, famously. Remember the Ebony Dukes? Great Bode Broad character there. Look at this stuff, so amazing, right? Oh, lovely. Hell is for Children is the whiz. This is all Bronx. Oh, what an iconic picture. I don't know who that is. Skipping over the roof there, but happy days, right? Happy days. You can still sort of see these old trains as they were. I think I'm right in saying that this was the updated design. I think the older ones were red, I believe. Again, I'm not an expert. Anybody knows, fill me in. Little glossary of tagging terms and so on. Little Bode lizard there. Somebody going over Pete. Is that? Who is that? Looks a bit like Duster. Going over Pete. Don't know. Anyway, it was a long time ago this beef was happening. There's Des over somebody. Oh, Des over Cap. For those of you who don't know, watch Style Wars. There was huge beef between Cap and you know, loads of people, basically. Loads of people. I won't get into it because I don't know enough about it. Shy 147, he was one of my favourite writers of this period. Kel. Have a look at these. Imagine seeing these back in the late 80s when we saw them. We'd never seen anything like it. Lady Pink and her tiny dog. Again, this black book stuff. The Dondi's Too Many piece there. I showed you that in the Style Master General video I did. Another lovely Kel piece with Cheech Wizard character, Bodo character there. Here's Dondi doing his very famous Children of the Grave Part 3. Still brilliant today. Still brilliant. 42 years ago. God almighty. Iconic. Absolutely iconic. Scheme line back on the third rail. Under that amazing window down. Just brilliant. I wanted that top so badly. That's Shy 147. And damn, I wanted that top. Oh, this is from Wild Style, the movie Wild Style. Shy 147, Lady Pink, Crash, Duro, load of guys. If you haven't seen that, that's worth seeing as well. These are all these are like early, lovely scene, window down there and scene hanging out there when he was much younger, obviously. Yeah, Style Wars, you've got to see that quick, bit of a legend. Style Wars, Wild Style, Beat Street, you've got to watch all these if you haven't seen them already. Desi Des, who just died recently, rest in peace, here he is. God love him. Yeah, he just died a few weeks ago. He became DJ K-Slay, and yeah, a bit of a tumultuous life. Really sorted himself out though, Des, and what a ledge he was back then. Look at that, great sort of shot of the projects and everything. United Artists, what a great whole car that is. Window down whole car, great. Lee Quinones, absolute king, top to bottom whole cars forever. Scene, of course, I think this is a fold out, yeah, there you go. Hand of Doom, very famous car. Oh, big blade one, look at that. And this is Children of the Grave, part 2. Dondi. Wonderful. To be able to maintain those angles, you know, at that size and everything, you don't realise, you know, this is hard. This is the famous Style Wars by Knock. Just a brilliant, I mean, look at it. Fabulous. I love this one as well. Talk about bombing insides. I mean, check it out. Where am I going to write my name? I'm going to end up going over somebody here. Damn it. Don't go over anybody too famous. We've had that. You ever had that? You know, when you look at a wall and you go, oh my God, everybody's a name. Who am I going to go over? Need to go over somebody who can't beat me up. trials and tribulations of being a graffiti writer. The computer rock, as invented by this man here, case 2. Another New York ledge. Dead now, rest in peace. Big blockbusters. Mitch. Mad. I think Mad was Mad Scene. Can't remember. Ooh, another lovely one there. Scene of Mitch. Trap Des Days. These guys got up, didn't they? Look at that top to bottom whole car. Top City. This is where I fell in love with all the backgroundy sort of, look at that, all those great old tenements and fire escapes and stuff. Often find them in the back of my character drawings. More scene stuff, PJ. Characters. Very Baudet-ish, that character. Was it a Baudet character? Or just reminiscent of? Bit of Super Mario there. It's a great top to bottom whole car. Some of this stuff. That's a great character there. Again, very reminiscent of Baudet. I really love the way he sprayed that as well. Really nice. That looks like Scheme. That looks like Tracy 168, or certainly a tribute to him. Nice character there as well. Lovely character there. Brilliant. Some Peoples. Blade with his missus. Duster with his missus. Love this shot as well. Look at that. Duster Lizzie, Duster Lizzie. Oh, look at those top to bottom whole cars there. Just amazing. Big Blade and Dolores cars there. Fantastic. Lee with his Ma. Tribute stuff, political stuff. The famous dump Koch train. After Koch, it was Mayor Koch who managed to, he put up the double barbed wire fences and had dogs patrol them in between, and it killed graffiti overnight pretty much. Suddenly became impossible to get up. That's the scene. Is it the Mitchen scene, or was it just scene? Top to bottom whole car anyway, obviously. Cops on the train. Yeah. Annihilated graffiti eventually. Beautiful train. Love that with the silhouetted people in front of it as well. The station. There's Martha and Henry. We have a lot to thank both those guys for. You know, without them, would have been a long time before anybody got round to, well, if they ever did get around to documenting this, because, you know, the thing about graffiti is we were all sort of, all of us, you know, these guys obviously, some stuff on the back there, lovely scene piece there. Yeah, you know, this was the American working class, and nobody's ever really taken very much attention, paid much attention to them before. Same as the working class in this country. Nobody's really interested in our stories, where we come from, our culture, anything like that. And these guys came along, Martha and Henry, and they went, actually, this is something to report on. You know, this is something to take pictures of and laud and hold up as an art form and a movement. And they did. That's what they did. And they created Subway Art, and they created Star Wars with, what's his name, Tony Silver. Watch it if you haven't watched it already. Get yourself a copy of the DVD. Watch Star Wars. And this is the result, and it brought it to a whole world of disenfranchised youth. You know, it's very punky actually. Those of you who know about punk happened in 1976 in the UK. It was happening a little bit before that in New York City. It was, again, I don't know. No, I'm not going to get into punk because I'm not an expert. But the thing about punk, it's got a very similar sensibility to graph, which is it's anti-establishment, it's chaotic. It's about freedom of expression, and it's about doing your own thing and ignoring the rules. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, rules just start to happen, but, you know, that's life. Anyway, look, Subway art, the granddaddy of them all.